Hello and welcome back to Somewhere in Wisconsin. Hope you guys are doing well. This video is the first video of 4 or 5 videos in an arrow building series. I'm looking forward to putting this together. I think it'll be valuable, helpful to any archer. It's not really a tutorial, it's just kind of showing you my process on picking an arrow, building the arrow, and then finally shooting the arrow once it is built. So guys, I hope you enjoy this series. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you like our content at the end of this video, check out some of the other stuff. That's the best way to help our channel grow, is if you click on some of those videos I share at the end. 2 things I'm sharing in part 1 of this video are how to pick your arrows and unboxing of the arrows I actually ended up picking. I hope you guys enjoy the video. What could be in here? Take it down in the basement and open it up. All right, let's open it up. Whoops. We've got packaging, inserts, Victory, VAPs. These are going to be my field and outdoor arrows. I'm going to actually shoot these for 3D this summer as well. Some G-knocks, some pin knocks. We got orange and like a faux yellow. I got some pin bushings. And I got some 140 grain points. So that's what's in the box. And the new catalog. This one's thick. It's thicker. I got 2 of those catalogs now. One's 2018-19. This is 2019-2020. So that's nice. VAP .166. They're the elites. And I bought the elites because, well, I shoot quite a bit. So I think that shooting out to 65 yards, 80 yards on the field range, I just wanted to buy the straightest arrow I could buy and afford. And pretty good deal for these, so I'm excited to get them tuned up to my bow and shooting. I'm going to do a video on testing some different fletchings out as well. And I have some boning, I think these are X2 vanes. I'm going to throw those onto these shafts. I'm going to shoot those a little bit, maybe on 3 arrows. I'm going to put the flex fletch on 3 arrows. I'm going to put, I'm probably going to test out 1 or 2 other vanes on those as well. I might even put some blazers on those, even though it is a higher, a taller fletching. I might also throw some of those. I bought the pin bushings because if you're shoot field archery, you know that you can really cram a bunch of arrows in a small spot, up to 12 arrows in one circle. And then plus there's a lot of like shorter targets that have 1 circle you shoot at as well. So the pin bushings should hopefully protect the back of these arrows. I'm not going to shoot these knocks that they come with. I will just kind of put these off to the side. Let's just fit one of these real quick and just see how they work. So I'm going to open up this package here. These are the pin bushings for the pin knocks. And they said these are a good fit into the actual shaft. So let's go to the back of the shaft. Yeah, I mean it's loose. You're going to need a little hot melt, or probably a little hot melt or cool melt, whatever you want to call it, into the back of that shaft. You can see there that it's just a very small pin bushing on the back. And then they said where the fit issues were happening were on the actual knock. I don't remember how old the posts were, but they said they were loose. And it's a pretty solid fit. It takes a little force to turn them, so they fit on there pretty well. Pretty excited to build these, really excited to shoot these. I've never shot a skinny shaft before 166. So here's the plan. This is going to be a build video. I'm not going to walk through every single arrow of every single step, but I'm going to walk through some of them. Show you how I get everything glued in, get everything situated. I'm going to show you how I cut them. I'm going to show you how I square them. I'm going to show you how I determined what length to actually cut these at and how I determine which arrows to actually buy in this video. That's the plan with these. I'll be back at you guys probably in a different day, getting these arrows set up and built and ready to go. So, until that time. Alright, before I go any further in this arrow building process, let me show you how I picked out the actual arrows that I wanted to shoot. So on the Victory website, you can go to their arrow building, it's like a tutorial to find the right arrow. It's kind of hard to find, but once you get to the point where you're like looking at an actual arrow, you go to the arrow spine chart right here. And usually a lot of manufacturers just have a book, like for example, alright, so here's an example of a spine chart. Okay, so you guys have seen these before. It tells you length of shaft, weight of the bow, and the draw. The problem that I find with these is I don't always want to shoot 100 grains. These are typically for 100 grains up in the front of your bow, plus an insert, so like around 115 grains, I guess. So if you want to shoot more than 115 grains up in the front of your bow, these charts aren't necessarily going to be accurate. Another thing that I find a lot of times too is sometimes my arrows spine out right in between these two. So, I mean, in this case, I'm lucky because I'm shooting, like if I shoot my 70-pound bow at 28 inches, it's a 300. At 27 inches, a 350. I usually cut my hunting arrows to around 27.5 inches. So, do I shoot the 300? Do I shoot the 350? Usually, I'd go with the stiffer spine in that instance, add a little weight up front, and I should be good. But what's cool about the Victory arrows and their website is they have that spine calculator on it, so I'm going to open it up. And you put in your IBO speed of your bow, which is my energy 35, I think is 334. Put in the draw weight you want to shoot. So I'm going to be shooting these for outdoors. I'm probably going to shoot 64 pounds. And I'm going to put in my point weight. Let's say I'm not sure what I want to shoot for my point weight yet, so I'm just going to leave that at 100 for now. And my insert weight, I'm not going to shoot inserts because I'm shooting glue-in tips. And I'm going to not going to run a wrap. My fletch weight will be about 10 grains, I guess, because these are smaller veins I'm going to be shooting. My knock weight is 4 grains. So these G-knocks are 4 grains, so I'm going to put that in as 4. And my bushing weight, I think these are 12 grains. Doesn't say in here, but these bushings are 12 grains. So I'm going to put in 12. Now, I left my point weight at 100, and I'm shooting, so I'm trying to find the right, this is the suggested spine in the Victory arrow that it's saying you should shoot or could shoot. And this is the actual spine of the arrow that I'm shooting, so it's a 376. This is where I can now change kind of what's going on with my bow. So I'm not going to actually cut my arrow at 28 inches. I'm going to cut it at 28.5 inches. As you can see here, it's 28.5. And I refined my spine. That spine went down a little bit, so I went to 370 now. And I'm actually going to shoot 140 grains up front. And fine spine. And you can see that this spine has now 351 instead of 350. So that's very, very, very close. And that's why I chose the 350 shafts with 140 grains up front. If I ever want to crank up my bow to say 70 pounds, which is what I hunt with, and leave my shaft length the same, you can see that's a 323 spine. That's the suggested spine. So they're saying switch to a 300. But if I were to shoot 100 or 70 pounds, I'm going to actually change this point weight to say 120. I can break off a point on there if I ever need to or want to. And I can say fine spine again, and it comes back up to 331. Maybe I just want to shoot him at 100 grains. And you can see that that spine is getting closer to 350. So this kind of shows you how you can manipulate your arrows to hit your desired spine weight. That's how I decided on 28.5 inches, 140 grains. I wanted to shoot a little heavier grain up front in the arrow. And then 64 pounds is going to be my draw weight. And this is supposed to be pretty accurate. There are other software that you can use out there if you want. But you can see when I find that spine, I'm happy with that 351 there. So that is how I'm going to shoot, or why I'm going to shoot the 350s out of my bow at my draw weight at 28.5 inches with 140 grains up front. That will help me get my spine as close as possible to what I want it to be. So that's super helpful. It's a good tool to use. It's better than these charts because you can manipulate the point weight, the arrow shaft, and all kinds of other things on your arrow. Just got to make sure that your grains are accurate when you're doing that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that Victory VAP unboxing and the little how-to pick the correct arrow for your setup. If you like this video, check out part 2 right over here on the side. Until the next time, I'm Chase, and we'll see you guys later.